we're talking about, what happens if you go on a date, one date, and after that, one of you starts to get into it a little bit more than the other. And if you happen to be that person that isn't as into it, how do you kind of slow things down?
Without scaring the person away.
Or without being rude.
Without being, mean.
And
rude.
we're
Okay.
good people, right? We're assuming we're good people.
Okay. This is it depends on the next day who texts us. That really will determine everything. The next day, kunyari, umuwi na kayo. Kunyari, date kayo, no? Okay, bye. Take care. Okay, bye. Okay, you're home safely. Okay, text you when you get home. That is if you don't end up together. And then, if you're from separate houses, of course. And then when you wake up, it depends who texts us first. That will set up everything.
That sets up the power dynamic.
Yes. And it's always the game of no game. Meaning, if you play games, you're going to walk into all these different rules and you just go crazy. Just be as normal as you can. And, if the person messages, hey, how are you doing? Hey, I'm cool. Oh, did you have fun last night? Oh, great. By the way, on Tuesday, there's this other event. If you're free, let me know.
Okay.
And that's it.
How do you wanna expand on this, Nick?
I mean, what if you're like, you're in this phase? For my friends are in this phase, right? If they're like straight up collecting and selecting, it's
okay.
they gotta space it out. They don't want people to get, too attached, or themselves even get too attached. Just like, how do you adequately space out your dates, but still be in the realm of of a good level of communication, but then not having them love bomb you or keep them on red for too long.
Only reply to messages. Don't initiate the conversation.
But then it's rude because then they're gonna feel that you are not caring about them.
No, you care. It's just more of like when they message, oh, hey, by the way, have you eaten already? The word kumain ka na ba has created so many relationships. As simple as kumain ka na ba?
Okay, noted.
Yun lang yun.
Yun lang. Okay,
You're concerned.
so what happens though is like, what if you respond?
This is based on experience, so it's up to you guys.
What if you respond to their message, and then they respond, like you respond with one message, and they respond with like 5 or 6?
That's a red flag. Kasi sa ligawan pa lang makulit na eh. What more kung naging kayo, man?
Okay, it's a red flag. It's a no. It's a no.
Ayoko makulit. Ayoko kinukulit ako eh. Pag makulit, ako gusto ko okay nang ulit.
But what happens if it's not like annoying? It makes sense naman what they're saying. It's just you can tell that they're just so like invested.
I'd rather just have like, I'll ask you out like, hey, so that when we see each other, there's something to talk about. There's still that mystery. Because if it's all through text na, and then when you see each other,
100%. You need to keep the mystery there.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to know everything about me or where I'm going. Like, let's keep it for the next thing.
Yeah, if you ask a lot of questions, because I don't know, Kayla. So, you want to know the answers? Next week, I'll be in Morato. Let's go.
Exactly.
You got to lead that in, man.
When people ask for my life story, I'm like, I'll tell you when I see you.
Yeah. May panahon ka ba? Di ba? Ganun lang yun.
Okay. So yeah, I guess in terms of if the other person is like really, really invested in messaging a lot, the best way to go about responding
Chill lang.
is just keeping it brief. Keeping it brief.
But don't initiate.
Yes, because you're going for the long run. If it's, pang habang buhay na samahan, di ba? So that's why you're going for the long run. You're going to burn out, yo.
But what if you aren't going for the long run? What if you're just...
It's a wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
What if it's just like a casual... Now you're like Nick said, you're collecting and selecting.
You gotta close it out that night. You know what I mean? If you're collecting, you gotta close it out that night.
Nah, sometimes there are dogs out there collecting a roster, man. Like those
there's
people,
a roster, legit.
Sometimes
that's
if there's a roster,
yeah.
they gotta put the batting order, man.
I got memory problems. I gotta keep the roster. You ask me a question, I would not remember. You know what I mean? I'd be like, yo. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how y'all do it. How do you do the roster thing?
I don't do the roster. Who said I do the roster?
Yeah, nobody does the roster.
Yeah.
That's
an American metaphor.
That's a fable.
Guys, the roster, last week we were just talking about it with some of our student jocks, that the roster is really, you know, it's a summer thing. It's a summer roster. They're building the roster. So Monsters, if any of you guys want to take part in the conversation, let us know your thoughts at 0961-1367-931. Also, make sure to follow us on our socials. You can always comment on our videos as well and let us know your thoughts.
So once again, our traffic thought.
Yes, our traffic thought is, how do you slow things down when you're, you know, communicating with someone after your first date? You see that they're super invested, but you got to just slow down the bus.
You want to slow it down?
Yeah.
Here's a good thing to slow it down, right? Take them to church. I'm not kidding. You take them to church, somebody will slow down so fast. Be like, take your time. And then you go to Sunday service together. Yo. Then you go for that Chinese food after. Hey.
Rico knows what's up.
Traffic thoughts. What's on your mind?
Traffic thoughts on the Monster.